attorney.
Welcome back. For you guys it's been 1 week, but for me it's been like I don't know, 5 minutes. Took a small break, stretched, and now we're back. So I'm still very much in the zone with the emotional load that is gonna come with Shannon right now. Oh boy. Yeah, still in the same chapter, furniture. We'll try to push to the end of this and then maybe some, I don't know, depends on how long the chapter is. Oh boy, we'll see. I think this is Shannon. Oh wait, before that, let's check here if we got anything new here. Probably not, but Shannon? No. Ava? Nothing. George? Nothing. Yeah. Tips? We had the Caesar, but nothing else. Sure. Okay. I felt deep remorse for my brief moment of conceit. I had forgotten. I am furniture. Furniture isn't human. So I am a being who must feel gratitude for even being treated like a human. And I am not permitted to wish for anything more. Even if people develop affection for furniture that they're used to using, that is an emotion on the human side, and the furniture has no right to hope for that. Oh boy. They should just serve with simple honesty every day. But that feeling I felt when talking with George-sama and Jessica-sama is a forbidden drug for me. Aww. In other words, it may have been an emotion I must not know.
Shannon?
Oh boy.
先ほどからぼんやりが過ぎます。体調でも悪いのですか?
Okay, caring for us?
いえ、失礼いたしました。
Natsuhi's words, too distracted, were right on the mark. Even Shannon couldn't believe that she hadn't noticed Natsuhi until she had been called. This was supposed to be the time when she had to concentrate on the cleaning. But she had just kept sighing and hadn't accomplished anything. Oh.
たとえお客様がおられなくても、常に気を張っていなくてはなりません。そんな様では、後ろ宮家に仕える使用人として情けありませんよ。
はい。以後注意します。
もうじき、当主様と主人がお帰りになられます。書斎の清掃は済んでいますか? 階段の清掃は済んでいますか?
I'm gonna guess a tentative no.
申し訳ございません。まだです。
ええ、知っています。ですから、ルノンにやらせておきました。
Hello? Lunan? New name dropped. Okay. Yeah, Shannon, Conan, Lunan. Yeah.
あなたがもたもたと廊下を清掃している時間で、彼女は書斎と階段の清掃を済ませてしまいましたよ。
She. Okay.
それは、丁寧にお掃除をしていたから、時間がかかってしまって。
Sorry, I was just in thought that since I do know one character design, I was just wondering if this Lunan was gonna be it. And if I... Yeah. Okay, short spoiler section here. I don't know if it's called even spoilers. It's just a character design and probably a name. I don't know. But yeah, be warned if you're going along kind of blind with me. Skip to, I don't know, 30 seconds from now. I'll put a timestamp if I remember. Yeah, here's your warning. So I was basically wondering if Lunan was gonna be Lambda Delta. Because I think I know what Lambda Delta looks like. So, I don't know how to react if they appear here right now. Oh boy. Okay, spoiler over. That's because I wanted to clean thoroughly, so it took some time. Yeah. Shannon was simple and honest, so she would always carry out her tasks seriously and properly, without any omissions. So she was always slow with her work. In contrast, Lunan skillfully cut corners wherever they should be cut. So she could complete her jobs with a result that looked similar to an outsider, but in a much shorter time. In other words, she was shrewd. Compared to her, we should say that Shannon, who had just talked back to Natsuhi when she was already in a bad mood, was not shrewd in the slightest. Of course, there was nothing that Natsuhi couldn't stand more than a servant talking back. Her forehead creased and she spoke sternly. And yet, her speech was slow and admonishing, which was terrifying beyond measure. Yeah. And finally made Shannon realize she had said the wrong thing. Oh boy, she's gonna get scolded so hard.
ならば、存分に丁寧な清掃を心がけなさい。
And the lightning rumbles in the background.
シャノン、あなたにこのまま大広間の清掃も命じます。当主様の大切な絵画が多数飾られ、後宮家への賓客をお招きすることもある大切な広間です。
Oh boy.
誇り一つ残さないよう、あなたが納得するまで丁寧に清掃なさい。もちろん今日中にです。それを終えて私に報告するまで、食事も休憩も許しません。
Also, let's quickly check I'm recording, you know. Yeah, 8 minutes, sound is coming through. Good. Oh boy, yeah.
わかりましたね。
はい。
I mean, at least it's just more of the same work, and it's not like anything. Like, I mean, kinda forbade her from eating or sleeping, but like, at least it's not like physical punishment, like whipping her or anything horrible like that. So I think that's still tolerable in her mind, although not pleasant, obviously.
結構。使用人はその言葉だけを口にするように。
Oh boy. I feel like this episode will do its best to make me dislike the way the Ushiromia family acts towards the servants.
次の口答えには、より厳しい罰を与えますから、そのつもりで。よく胸に刻んでおきなさい。
はい、奥様、ご指導をありがとうございます。
どういたしまして。
Oh boy. Natsuhi headed off down the corridor, making a gesture as if her headache was troubling her. Once Shannon couldn't see her anymore, she hung her head and sighed. This happened because I let my thoughts take me. I might be bad at everything I do, but I should at least be able to carry out the cleaning as well as an average person can, right? I can't even do that properly. It's so pathetic it makes me cry. Aww. And there's something even more pathetic. Not only was I unable to perform a single bit of cleaning well, but just now, when Natsuhi was scolding me, I was envisioning him appearing and rescuing me. Aww. Yeah. If only George-sama had been here. Perhaps he would have casually stepped in and saved me. He definitely would have, yeah. I'm sure he would show up cheerfully, intentionally acting like he doesn't know what's going on, nimbly change the subject, and make me forget I was ever reprimanded by Natsuhi. Oh, not Natsuhi-sama. Interesting. I keep envisioning him suddenly appearing from the other side of the door, or the other end of the hallway. I envisioned the kind of person that would be an appropriate partner for him in a marriage meeting, and I envisioned how unfitting I am for him. Ava had told me that clearly. It had repeated endlessly through my dreams.
姉さんは相変わらず不器用だね。
Hey, Kanan, please. Let's try to make Shannon feel a bit better.
奥様は今朝から虫の居所が悪い。黙ってうなずいていればいいものを余計なことを言うから。
カノン君。
Kanon was suddenly there. His footsteps were always quieter than a cat's, and he left no trace of his presence. She probably wouldn't have noticed him no matter how long he stood there. The expression on Kanon's face was hatred. That expression he was making, he surely made for Shannon, who didn't know how to do so herself. Yeah. I mean, we've only gotten a taste of how the Ushiromiya family treats their servants within episode 1 and now the beginning of episode 2 here with that last scene and this scene. But Kanon has endured it for years, so yeah, I can imagine how he would turn out like that. Emotionless on the outside, but very much burning with hatred on the inside. But weirdly enough, still kind of respecting Kinzo. Don't know what that's about.
奥様も、そしてルノンも地獄へ落ちろ。あいつは奥様がどこをチェックするか知ってて、そこしか掃除しない。
Wow, I mean, yeah, it was told us that Lunan, she only cleans the places where needs and cuts corners.
さっきの掃除もそうだった。見ていたから知ってる。
Wow.
本当の意味での掃除なんかしてないんだよ。丁寧に掃除する姉さんに寄生してるだけの最低なやつだ。
そんな汚い言葉を使ってはダメよ。汚い言葉はカノン君の綺麗な魂まで怪我してしまう。だからせめて私の前ではそんな言葉遣いをしないで。ね。
Wow. Kanon faced away, acting sulky. It was a dishonest reaction, very like Kanon-kun. Oh, it was a dishonest reaction, very like Kanon-kun, but I was a little happy. He got angry in my place.
大広間の掃除は大変だよ。僕も手伝う。
Hey, thank you.
ありがとう。でも、奥様に命じられたのは私だから大丈夫。カノン君にも自分のお仕事があるんでしょ？
汚らわしい仕事だよ。
Oh?
僕の魂なんて、とっくに汚れてる。
I mean, yes but no. Yes in the sense that you know about the dirty things this family does, and you know how bad humanity can be, and you can despise, those emotions. in that sense, yes. But I will counter with the idea that because you can get angry and because you get so furious and mad about them treating other people like Shannon, that in itself is very much a thing only a pure soul can have. Like honest anger in behalf of another person. Someone who isn't that good of a person or who doesn't have a pure soul wouldn't maybe react to that kind of stuff as much. Maybe just due to being jaded. But I don't know. You still have very much pureness in yourself. But you are also, yeah. I recognize you have both, but in one sense you're still pure. Kanon then hung his head and bit his lower lip.
手伝ってくれるという言葉だけで、私は十分。カノン君も自分の仕事に戻らないと、あなたまで罰を受けることになっちゃう。
I don't think he cares about that as long as he can help you.
そしたら、私は悲しい。
Good line. That might make him change his mind. Shannon knew Kanon's character well. Sometimes he didn't reflect on himself. If I don't refuse forcefully, he will help me, even if it means neglecting his own job. Kanon was a little sad that his favor had been rejected, but he realized that in the end, going too far would also cause her pain, and he gave a single, small sigh.
わかったよ。姉さんも頑張って。
それに、私にも責任はあるから。
姉さんには責任なんて何もないよ。
あるの。だから、もう言って。
And he vanishes into thin air. Kanonkun's face showed that he still hadn't completely accepted it, but he stopped being persistent and disappeared. Even though Kanonkun had given me words of comfort when I was down, even so, I was still dejected because it hadn't been him. That was simply a sin. Far beyond any dream the likes of me could be permitted to see. Know your place. Shannon, who had neglected breakfast, was already starting to feel her thoughts attenuate. But if she didn't finish cleaning the reception hall, she couldn't receive Natsuhi's permission to eat. That cruel Natsuhi had surely told the kitchen of that. Interesting. Calling Natsuhi cruel from this neutral POV. I have to respectfully receive Madame's punishment. That's right. My position in the world is furniture. And I had been intoxicated by a dream that is beyond me. I don't think we've seen this area before. Okay. I finished cleaning the hallway and went to the reception hall. Maybe hunger makes a nose more sensitive. The kitchen was far away, but somehow I could smell the delicious aroma wafting from there, stimulating my empty stomach all the more. Until I finished up here, I could not get any soup. I just had to prepare myself. Yeah. Not sure if this is neutral POV once again. Or neutral narrator, sorry. Several portraits were hung in the reception hall. One of those portraits was thought amongst the servants to hold a special meaning. It was the portrait of the witch. That wasn't its true name, but everyone in the mansion called it that. The name of the woman with elegant blonde hair, drawn as the subject of that portrait, was Beatrice. It was whispered that she might be the former mistress of the family head, Kinzo, and also that she was the great witch who had given Kinzo his legendary gold. Yeah. The witch Beatrice, master of the night on Rokkenjima. She was gracious to those who respected her, but she would always curse those who made light of her. It was in Shannon's character not to neglect rules and beliefs such as those. So she thought of the portrait of her other master as that person herself, and always treated it carefully, treasuring it. Hey, good job. Plus points from Beatrice. And it had become part of her daily routine to talk, inside her own head, to the witch who only existed inside the portrait. She was furniture. Furniture doesn't complain. Cannot complain. So she had no right to speak her mind about her difficult days. No right to open her mouth and say those words. So, she at least spoke her mind inside her heart. Those words she couldn't say aloud. She spoke inside her heart and protested to the formless witch. Of course, the witch didn't answer. She never consoled, and she never laughed it off. Shannon could only interpret that silence as she lied, as though the witch was at least listening attentively.
ベアトリーチェ様、みすぼらしい私の話を聞いてください。
As Shannon wiped the dust from the witch's portrait, she spoke inside her heart.
私は確かにエヴァ様の言う通り、無能で無教養な家具です。人じゃない。だから、恋をする資格などないかもしれません。でも、だったら、どうして恋を知ることのできる心など、お与えになったのでしょうか。
Shannon paused there and held back her tears for a time. The sound of the rain, which had started falling, along with the chill air in the reception hall, made her feel as though her shabbiness had increased another level.
本当の家具なら、心なんかない。だから、人を愛したりしなくて済むじゃないですか。だから苦しまない。私も同じ家具なのに。どうして心なんかあるんですか？
Poor girl.
こんな苦しくて辛い思いをするなら、こんな心なんて与えないでほしかった。
なるほど。
Okay, that is Ava.
家具に心を与えたか。
I mean, it is probably Beatrice, but that sounded so much like Ava.
あれも時には愉快なことをする。
Amusing games that one plays sometimes. Huh. I'm sorry, I was very much emotionally invested there. I didn't quite tear up, but I definitely felt the clump in the throat when Shannon was talking. So I was very much caught off guard by the sudden voice from supposedly Beatrice. What the hell? I see, to have given a heart to furniture. Amusing games that one plays sometimes. Oh, she heard it. Yeah. The witch never answered or laughed. Answered and laughed. Holy, what a line. My imagination? Hearing things? No. After all, the next words became a voice, and I could hear them, not with my heart, but with my ears.
人間は世界を構成する元素について紀元前の昔から探求を続けてきた。古代ギリシャ人たちは風、火、水、土の4つで世界の説明を試みたという。
Yeah?
その後も数千年かけて人間たちはその4つに様々な元素を加え。
Suddenly lore about the creation mythos of the world. Are we talking about the periodical table?
5代、6代、7代、8代、12代と様々な解釈で世界を説明しようとしたが。
I feel like I've heard these terms 5th, 6th, or 7th, or 8th element somewhere. I don't know if I've ever heard the 12 elements. But like, I feel like I've heard at least one of these 5, 6, 7, or 8th element. Maybe in this game, maybe in another game.
唯一の真実である一なる元素を説明することはできなかった。しかし、星の導きによって現れた一人の男が、ついにこの世界を構成する一なる元素を説明した。
What are we yapping about? Hello? Please explain. Please, yeah.
何かわかるか?
I'm sorry, I have no idea. Shannon fearfully turned around. Hello. Right there, she existed. Not as an illusion, in reality. Hello, Beatrice, finally appearing inside the game. I'm still not sure if she's just like not physically there, but you know, appearing there inside the minds of those who believe in her. Hello, Beatrice. The contrast made by the lightning made it clear that this was not just a daydream.
それは愛よ。
The single elements, okay. Cackle, cackle, cackle. The witch of the portrait elegantly held a golden pipe to her mouth and giggled. Holy. She laughed at the ignorance which caused mankind's thoughts to stray far from the most simple answer.
その男は世界のすべてを愛で説明した。
Yeah?
それこそが一なる元素。
Okay. And who is this man?
男は最小の数で世界の構成を説明しきったのだ。なんとも単純明快にして豪快爽快愉快痛快。
Those were interesting words.
やがてその男の生まれた年は西暦紀元と呼ばれるようになったがな。
Known as Anno Domini. I'm sorry, I don't know this word, but I know what she said in Japanese. And this would be shortened to AD. So, like, are we talking about Jesus then? Shannon lost any words to speak. She thought that when first meeting an unknown guest, her first words should ask that person's name, but she already knew the name of this person. But without saying anything, Shannon knew this person's name, so she refrained. Yeah, holy. No, surely, as a person of this island, asking this person for her name would be the greatest disrespect. Yeah. Battler is so gonna do that if he ever happens to meet her. Because she was the other master of this island in addition to Kinzo.
Beatrice-sama.
Hello there, Beatrice.
いかにも
Oh my god, the sound effect.
わらわがベアトリーチェである。千年を経ても人がわらわを見て最初に浮かべる表情は変わらんな。
Like, I'm sorry, I'm still baffled or like questioning myself if this is the same voice actress as with Ava, because they kinda sound similar. And like, I'm not gonna read anything into it for now, even though I have made a theory that maybe one of the girls is actually Beatrice, but they don't realize that Beatrice possesses them or something. But like, I'm not gonna read into it at all for now. But if that turns out to be a plot twist later, I'm sorry for recognizing the voice actress if they are the same VA. You know, it is what it is. The witch giggled at how Shannon's reaction didn't betray her expectations. Yeah, I'm sure she loves the surprised faces. Shannon realized that she had met with a being that mustn't be met with, and she took a step backwards. Holy. That's where the wall and the portrait were. So even as she gazed at the witch, she supported the witch's portrait on her back.
お前の悩みは愛ゆえよ。
Yes.
それはすなわち世界の一なる元素。つまりこの世のすべてだ。
I still don't quite get how. I mean, I've obviously seen in other stories people always say that love is the one true thing, or love is the most important thing. But so like this idea itself isn't like new, that love is the most important or the single element. But like I still don't quite get what she means by it with this.
それが満たされぬということは世界が満たされぬに同じこと。
Okay.
それは穴の開いた水筒に水を汲み続けるのに似ている。汲めども汲めども満たされぬ永遠の心の砂漠。人間の基礎にして全てにして現在。わかるか？
I mean, I understand the words you are saying, but I don't think I understand the very core or the idea behind it.
知識の実を口にしたアダムとイブが知ったのは愛だったのだ。
Sure.
それを知ったがゆえに人は楽園を追われ人足り得たのだ。
That's how you're selling it to her, and that's how she can become human. Sure.
すなわちそれは愛を知り苦しむからこそ人であること。 心優しき娘よ。そなたは誇っていい。それを知った今、そなたはもはや家具にあらず。そなたは今こそ人間なのだ。我が名にかけてそれを認めようぞ。
Holy, getting recognized by Beatrice.
凡庸の身には理解も辛き話か。まあよいわ。許すがいい。久しぶりに人間と話すのでな。饒舌が過ぎたことを謝ろう。
No, please do continue to yap. I would love to hear you monologue for the next eternity. Without expecting a reply from Shannon, Beatrice laughed pleasantly for a while. Beatrice.
詫びと言ってはなんだが、わらわの力でそなたのその願望を叶えてやってもよいぞ。
And if we consider episode 2 so far as a backstory, or like prior to the October meet and greet of the family, then sure. The meaning of those words surprised Shannon even more than the witch's sudden appearance. Yeah, because she had given up on the idea, or at least she was very depressed and coming to the realization that it would be impossible.
そなたを思い人と添い遂げさせてやってもよいと言っている。本来ならばそれに見合うだけの対価を要求するところだが。
But
わらわは機嫌が良い。それにそなたはわらわへの礼を欠かさず今日までよく尽くした。
Okay.
それへの褒美としてやってもよい。
Ayo.
本当ですか？
Normally, Shannon would have been shocked by this guest who lacked realism and wouldn't have been able to speak. However, as though she had already been caught in the witch's trap, Shannon responded to the witch.
わらわの魔法にかかれば思い人と結ばれるように取り計らうなど造作もない。
You do mean it, don't you? Those words almost escaped Shannon's lips, but she held herself back with her final reserves of reason. A witch is a witch, a sinister being. The witch Beatrice is clearly trying to slip in through the cracks in... The witch Beatrice is clearly trying to slip in through the cracks in my heart and take me prisoner. That sort of temptation, which so many fairy tale picture books had warned me about when I was young, was right in front of me now.
イフもまた敬いの一つよ。心地よくはあるが、これでは拉致があかぬな。わらわは確かにそなたらが意味嫌う魔女像から離れはせぬ。だがわらわは敬う者には好意を返す。それは人間も同じであろう。そのように身構えられて好意を返せる人間もまたおらぬと思うがな。
失礼しました。そんなつもりは。
Shannon finally realized that her hostility was rude to this guest, and she finally digested the words that had been spoken to her a short while ago. You are no longer furniture. Now you are human. the more she reflected upon those words, the more Shannon felt as though Beatrice could understand all of her suffering.
さっきの、その、
Oh boy, she's got her in her grasp.
褒美の話って何ですか？
お前がその心を虜にする男と結ばれるように取り計らってもいいと言っている。わらわの肖像画を日々丹念に磨いてくれたことへの礼とでも思うがよい。安心せよ。対価は求めぬ。わらわは気前がよい。だがな、対価は求めぬが頼みがある。
Yeah. Shatter the mirror at the shrine, or look, here it comes. Oh, the other Shannon inside her heart sent her a warning. This is what she had been so often warned of in all those scary picture books she had read when she was little.
この島のすぐ近くの海に岩が覗き、そこに小さな鳥居と祠が設けてあるのを知っているか？
Yeah, so I think I suspected this when we saw that scene in the prologue, but Shannon is the reason why the Torii Gate and the shrine is no longer there. Shannon immediately remembered it. When you reached Rokkenjima by boat, there was a torii and a shrine on a reef, which was too small to even be called an islet. Probably like there, or that thing there. Probably that thing there. If I had to guess from this picture. Or maybe that thing if it is separate. She had the feeling that Kumasawa had told her its history, but she couldn't remember that very well. A traveling mountaineering ascetic, or someone had built it, or prayed at it, or something.
ええ、知っていますが、それが何か。
魔に通じぬものに一から説明はせぬ。
Not explain everything from square one to a person who does not know of demons.
早い話がだな。あれには参っておるのだ。実はな、あの祠の中にある鏡が収められている。それをそなたに割ってほしいというのだ。
And that she will do. That was a very suspicious request, yeah. You know, just go break an offering, a holy artifact at a shrine, you know, no big deal. Shannon didn't know its history, but anything that might be stored inside a shrine would have to be something sacred. Also, shrines, inside, sacred, item, Higurashi idea. And she wants me to break it? Why would someone as powerful as a witch be unable to do that herself and be asking a human for help? You know, those things are usually places where evil or impure beings cannot get close to, so like she's literally unable to approach it or affect it. There was no need for Shannon to speak her thoughts aloud. Beatrice had started talking about this reasonable question before Shannon could give her answer.
あの鏡の魔力はわらわの魔力と相対する。人の言葉でうまく説明できぬな。例えれば食器の違いとでも言おうか。あの鏡はフォークで、わらわの力はスープなのだ。フォークでスープは飲めまい？ あの鏡の押し付けさえなければ、わらわはスープを飲むのにぴったりのスプーンが用意できるというわけだ。
I think what we should do in order to not just let loose your powers fully. Like, we should, you know, Spork is an item that kinda exists, so, you know, let's somehow merge the two ideas. Let's try to make a, well, like the game itself said in the last part, harmonious unison. So, yeah, instead of breaking it, let's try to come to a compromise that will somehow work together.
それさえあれば、スープも飲めるし、岩ろうだって掘り抜けるぞ。
Ah, there we go. That's her idea. Dig my way out of a rocky prison. So yeah, she cannot materialize or fully utilize her powers or something because of the mirror, and breaking it would allow her to be free. Probably.
目玉だってえぐり貫け。
Oh.
だったか
Okay, Beatrice.
何の話かわかりません。私の無教養のせいだとしたら謝ります。
こういうことだ。あの忌々しい鏡をわらわのために割る手間をかけてくれたなら、その褒美としてそなたの願いを叶えてやるということだ。
Also, I just noticed you have some sort of ring, but we can't really see the design. Maybe it's important. Oh, is that the head's ring? Did Kinzo already give it to you? Okay.
今日のわらわは本当に機嫌がいい。
Yeah. Did something specific happen, or was it just that you happened to find a way to worm yourself into Shannon's heart and influence her?
そなたが望むなら願い事を変えて金蔵に授けた黄金を丸ごとくれてやることにしてもよいぞ。
Whoa.
お断りします。
Oh, I wasn't expecting that. Huh.
なんと。
I think she's gonna like that even more. A challenge to make her submit. When she heard Shannon's words, Beatrice realized for the first time that her expectations had been betrayed.
理由があれば聞かせよ。誤解があるなら解こうぞ。
理由なんてよくわかりません。でも今日までこの島は平和で何も起こりませんでした。なら鏡を割らなくても今日までと同じ平和がこれからも続いていくはずです。
なるほどなるほど。それはもっともだな。そなたの言う通りだ。あれを割らぬなら割れぬ今日までと同じ日々が明日も明後日も続こうぞ。わらわが絶対の保証をしようではないか。ベアトリーチェの名にかけて言う。
Yeah?
割れぬ今日までと同じ日々が明日も明後日も続こうぞ。
That's a big promise, but I mean, you can do it probably if you so wish.
それは永久に永遠に。
But with a slight monkey's paw twist. Like, you will die, but you will also just be reincarnated and then just live over the same period over and over again. So, you know, technically the same unbreakable days will continue. Shannon was seized by an eerie illusion. The mirror was most likely something to restrain the witch, yeah. So, breaking the mirror should have been something done for the witch's sake. And yet, also this clock in the background, wow. And yet, it felt as though Shannon had to do it for her own sake. The clock works so well because she was just talking about perpetuality and same days going over and over for eternity. Time, you know? It felt like some premise had been switched. Are you doing something weird and changing the story structure all of a sudden, Beatrice? Hello?
わらわはあくまでも褒美としてそなたに思いを成就する機会を与えたに過ぎぬ。割ろうが割るまいがそなたの自由だ。割ればわらわはそなたの願いを叶える。割らねば今日までの明日が永遠に続く。そなたの願いは永遠に叶うことはない。わかるか？何を言っているか。
Oh boy. Organ short 600 million. Or number 600 million. Wow. The witch was telling her. She was pressing her, saying to break the mirror. She wanted to be joined with George. And she was declaring that if she didn't break it, then her feelings would definitely never be fulfilled. Oh boy.
やめてください。
I'm sorry, she's got you now.
そんなの聞きたくない。
そなたを苦しめたかったわけではないのだがな。まあいい。愛に苦しさを感じるも人間の醍醐味よ。
Feeling madness from love is the best thing about humans. Wow.
その感情を存分に楽しむがよい。だが、我が力を借りたいと願ったなら、いつでもあの鏡を割るがよい。
She has all the time to wait.
そして、我が名を叫び、呼び覚ますがよい。
Oh boy.
わらわは必ず約束を守るだろう。これならば文句はあるまい？そなたに今すぐの決断を迫るわけではない。気楽であろう
Was this deal ultimately something she could feel at ease with? Definitely not. To Shannon, who was burning with love, tormented by passion, and being tempted forever by a way of escape was far too cruel a trial.
この約束に期限は設けぬが、願いを叶える魔法には期限がある。
But there is a time limit on the magic that can grant that wish. Is it gonna be when the family conference begins?
その期限は、わらわが決めるのではない。
Whenever Kinzo sets the game afoot.
そなたの思い人が自ら決める。
Oh, okay.
意味がわかるか？
That limit is not mine to determine. It will be determined by your loved one himself. How long it will take for George to finally go through with the marriage meeting and get married. Yeah.
わかりません。
そなたの思い人が愛のちぎりを結ぶべき相手を決めた時がその期限となる。わらわは魔女だが鬼ではない。
Demon or Oni.
互いを愛し合う二人を引き裂く魔法は持ち合わせていないのでな。
She is such a fascinating character.
そなたの思い人は近いうちに見合いに臨むそうだな。そなたは世界で一番その男のことを思っているかもしれん。だが世界で一番ふさわしいとは限らんぞ。わらわは見合いの相手を知っている。
Please don't tell me it's Lunan.
その娘は世界で一番後宮ジョージにふさわしい。
Yeah, it doesn't really matter who it is, it's just it has been determined that it will be the most suitable person for George. Yeah. So in that sense, good job, Ava, for finding that person, I guess. Holy.
良い学校を出て良い成績を残し落ち着きがあって思慮深い。お前より美しく、お前より聡明で、お前よりふさわしい。
Wow.
お前のような無知無能無教養の娘がどうしてふさわしかろうか。お前が一番知っている。お前が一番ふさわしくない。お前と後宮ジョージが結ばれるなど想像するだけでも罪深い。愚かしいことよ。愚かしい愚かしい身の程知れい。
Holy.
義務教育に行かせてもらった恩も忘れて。
Okay, their voices were in unison and they sounded somewhat different, but you know, still something within the range of a voice actress being able to change her voice, I guess. I don't know. I'm kind of stuck on that idea, but I won't focus on it too much.
身の程を知りなさい。ジョージはお父様の血を引く孫の中では嫡男に当たるのよ。ひょっとしたら未来の後宮家を背負うことになるかもしれない人。その期待に応えるためにたくさんの勉強を重ねて素晴らしい大学に入り素晴らしい成績を残しているわ。そんなジョージと無能無資格無教養な使用人風情が釣り合うと本気で思い。
Holy, she can just tap into Ava's words exactly. Insane. Insane.
やめろ、シャノンをいじめるな。
Oh, Canon can see Beatrice Holy.
貴様は誰だ。
Oh. Oh boy. At that time, as Shannon held her head, trying to protect her heart from the blade of Beatrice's words, Canon ran in front of her. Canon didn't care who this woman was, as long as he knew she was an enemy tormenting Shannon, who he loved and respected as a sister. Nothing else mattered.
カノン君、下がって。この方は。
It seemed that Canon also realized that the being standing before him was the witch of the portrait. Yep. What can you do here, Canon? Probably not much. And also that she was a terrifying being.
シャノンに褒美を取らせたかっただけだが、わらわの言葉が過ぎ、いじめてしまったようだな。それは謝ろう。だが、先ほどの約束は、そなたへの褒美として残してゆく。
Holy smirk.
わらわの力が必要ならば、いつでも呼び出すといい。その方法はすでに教えた。では、これにて今宵は退散しよう。
Okay.
敵意の眼差しは心地よくあるが、美容にはちと悪いのでな。
ケロ、お前が何者か知らないが、お前はシャノンを脅かしている。二度と現れるな。
Wow. It seemed that Kanon's words made the witch horribly displeased. Yeah?
言葉を選ばぬか下船め。
Kanon, you are not in control. Remember that.
わらわは敬う者に寛大だが、敬わぬ者には残酷であるぞ。
While she still smiled, the witch's expression began to warp. Holy, the background sounds. And an oppressive feeling that couldn't be described with any of the five senses gradually filled the room. Even though they couldn't comprehend what it was, they immediately realized it to be something terrifying. If you were swimming in the ocean and something large went by in the water beneath you, you would want to escape to the land even before you learned what it was. Yup. This was the same as that.
おやめください、ベアトリーチェ様。カノン君はまだ子供なんです。言葉遣いについては謝ります。
Kanon blocked the way to Shannon at the risk of his life. There was tense sweat on his forehead. In that moment, the witch certainly had Kanon's fate in her clutches. Yup. Holy. She didn't even need to move a finger. She had Kanon's fate so readily in her grasp that she could crush it completely with a single twist of her own smile. Holy. Kanon also understood that, which is why he was sweating and his knees felt weak. However, Beatrice abruptly released that feeling of tension and laughed.
よかろう。
Scary?
そなたが求めるなら特別に許そう。カノンとやら彼女に免じて今宵は許して使わす。感謝するがよいぞ。さて、今宵はこれで退散する。別れの挨拶に一つ土産を残そう。
Yeah?
二人とも左手の手のひらをこちらへかざせ。
Beatrice grinned broadly and snapped her fingers, whereupon their left hands stretched out in front of them, and their palms opened against their will. Holy. It was a strange sensation, as though only their left hands had become someone else's. It felt like their left hands alone had become puppets, pulled by strings hanging down from the ceiling.
これは何の真似だ。
Kanon resisted, but he couldn't take back the freedom of his left hand.
騒ぐな。すぐに済む。
Beatrice held her pipe aloft, and from inside the smoke, gold-colored sparkling dust hovered in the air. Butterflies. Nice freeze frame. That glitter eventually became several gold butterflies. The beautiful butterflies danced freely throughout the reception hall, creating a fantastical and beautiful world. And 2 of those butterflies alighted on the palms of Shannon and Kanon's hands. There was a sharp pain, as though they had been burned. When the 2 of them tried to examine their palms, There was no trace left of that inability to move their bodies, which had been there until a second ago. Huh. Did she mark them or...
Also?
Holy, suddenly fate, we gained a command spell.
これは
On the palm of her hand, a small burn mark had been made, the size of a pea. Okay, not that big. Furthermore, it was shaped like a butterfly. Marked them like cattle as her own.
これは何の真似だ
Apparently, Kanon had the same bruise on his hand. He stared at the witch hatefully.
単なる挨拶よ。
Mm-hmm.
体はない。
Yeah?
ただのあざに過ぎぬからほんの数日で言えよう。手当ても必要ない。それはわらわが確かに今日ここにあり、そなたと約束を交わしたことを明日に忘れさせぬための印だ。
Wow.
わらわとの出会いは刺激が強い。
Now that makes me think that was in episode 1 anyone else having bruises on their bodies. I don't remember. The impact of a meeting with me is strong, yeah.
翌朝にわらわとの出会いを夢か幻と思い込み忘れようとする人間も時にはいるのでな。
Okay, cool. So game basically telling us that nope, you cannot make this work as a dream. It happened. It actually happened. It wasn't just illusion or in Shannon's mind.
ゆっくり考えるがいいぞ、シャノン。
Mm-hmm.
そしてゆっくりと休み、明日の朝日に我が印を見て改めて考えてみるがいいだろう。わらわは何も強要せぬ。そなたが自らの意志で自由に未来を決めるがいい。もっとも欲する者の対価がその程度で済むとはな。悲恋をテーマに戯曲を書き上げた偉人たちが悔しがるぞ。それでは縁があったらまた会おう。
Yeah, hopefully soon enough for my sake, but not for their sake, I guess.
久しぶりの会話は実に楽しかったぞ。
After so much time, okay.
さらばだ、家具ども。
Holy evil laugh. And thus Beatrice was Thanos snapped. Beatrice's body crumbled like smoke and blew away. It was golden smoke. No, a flight of golden butterflies. They scattered in all directions inside the reception hall, leaving a golden mist behind as they disappeared into thin air. Kinda reminds me of Archer from Fate Zero. After that, only the cold silence was left. The extreme silence was enough to make both of them think that they might have been daydreaming until just a moment ago. Yep, that's why the mark, that's why the bruise. Which is why the witch had left it. She had left a mark to make it impossible for them to think that this was a daydream. As Shannon and Kanon thought back on the butterfly bruises on their hands, and the pain they had felt when those had been left, they stood there for some time, stunned and motionless. And from that day on, Shannon was tormented by days of suffering and conflict. Holy. What a first chapter for this episode. I assume that's the end. We're still continuing? Wonderful Utopia. Okay, yeah, new chapter. Yeah, what a chapter, holy. Is it too late or too early to end it there? I mean, it kinda is, but at the same time, I feel like that's a good breaking point, you know? Oh my god, Beatrice in the house, in the flesh. Holy. Now, I know the game just said that it's impossible for them to now make it to be a dream or an illusion because they have physical marks. But I will just say, I won't push on this at all. I'm just leaving it as a, 15th possible option. There is a possibility that both of them were somehow ingesting some hallucinogenic substance that made them hallucinate, and then they both fell on top of or some kind of burning or a hot metal with a butterfly mark, or while they were hallucinating, someone like Kinzo marked them, making them believe they were having a conversation with Beatrice. That is a very, very, very slim possibility, but obviously I'm never gonna believe that. Let's just believe that that was a real scene, Holy Beatrice. Okay, Shannon. I was expecting a lot more of just Shannon wallowing in her own emotions and being distraught, but nope, we went to a whole new direction. She just when Shannon was at her lowest and most vulnerable, that's when Beatrice took a hold of her heart and just appeared, making a seemingly unrefusable proposition. Holy. I was kind of surprised that Kanon came there, but fair enough. I guess it makes more sense that now that there's two of them, it makes it more plausible that Beatrice was actually there. It becomes really hard to deny that now. Yeah. Okay, so I'm still of the opinion that we will eventually end up in that prologue scene of Shannon at the Reg, at the shrine, at the Torii gate, and she is gonna break the mirror. And I am currently holding it as my number one idea that this is a prelude to what happens in episode 1. So Shannon breaks it. Shannon breaks the mirror, and breaking the mirror causes the Torii gate and the shrine to break down or be submerged under the sea. They have no longer power, divine power. Beatrice is basically released and has full power now at her disposal. And, George, whether influenced by Beatrice's magic or by his own decision, chooses Shannon. And, things just play out from there. But this will be the reason why Beatrice has been successfully doing the things in episode 1, all the murders, because she was released by Shannon. Yeah, that's my current idea. Obviously, I'm open to other ideas as well. I'm not stuck on that, but that's my current train of thought. And the whole Ava and Beatrice having similar sounding VA. I'm not too fussed about that. I can let it go. I don't know. Yeah, it's just they sound so similar to my ears. And I'm still not sure. Is Shannon's VA someone I know? Is it Wikimierie or not? Not sure, and I'm not gonna Google anything about this game, so I won't know unless someone tells me. But yeah. Let's see. Is Beatrice now? Let's actually first check tips. Anything new here? Nope. And I assume Beatrice might now be here. Yup. Beatrice, the Golden Witch who has lived for 1,000 years. She has already surpassed the limits of humans, and it is said that she will appear in response to a human summons, just as demons do. to lend them her power for a price. Likes black tea and ice cream. Hates boredom and those who deny her existence. And, well, not in this video, but in the previous video, the beginning of chapter 1 of, there was mention of black tea. Sure. Holy. Nothing new there. Nothing there, and nothing there. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna start putting Beatrice's... I've been kind of avoiding putting any Beatrice in the thumbnails, but I think I'm gonna start doing it now. You know. Yeah. Kinzo. I just now noticed her socks. What are those? What is this? Holy striped socks. Why do you not wear a full suit like the two others? Is it because you're not like an experienced one like they are? And you're more of an apprentice type? Not sure. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think it was in the previous video, but I definitely need to go back and check if the name mentioned there was the same name as in Higurashi. I don't think it's gonna have any real connection, it's just a nice little aha connection, like, hey, I've heard that name before. I think it was Okonogi. Yeah. I wonder if we'll get any of Rudolph's or Rose's family in this episode. If it's just gonna be Shannon and George based. I mean, so far it has been. With their families there, or if we'll have this first here, and then once we're done with this background, we'll move on to going through the events of episode 1 of the family gathering conference, family conference. We'll see. Huh? Has Ava always had... What are these? Just like... I didn't even notice. I mean, I've been looking at their character designs throughout all the episodes, but I think most of the time they've just been kind of cut off from the top half, so I haven't seen too much of the lower half, so just constantly surprised by stuff. Interesting. Didn't expect those kinds of pants, even though I've probably technically seen them when going by. Schoolgirl. I like the lower half of her dress a lot. Yeah. Yeah, cool. Okay, I think we'll leave it here. It's once again a bit of a shorter part, but I feel like this is a good point to stop. You know, I don't know. Next time we might try to, I guess it depends on the length of the chapter, but I would like to do one chapter per video, but I know it's not always possible. Some chapters are more dense, and you know, sometimes there's more to talk about. Yeah, so I don't know if we'll ever get to like do clean chapter breaks per video. We'll see. Okay, cool, let's end it here. Patreon, early access, up to 2 weeks, link down in the description. Cool, see ya.